If you go on from there.
Well, February 1950 had another episode beside the church interview that made a great impact on my life, and that was I had been asked by the BBC was going to put on an election night programme. It had never been done before on television, and radio had always been extremely dull, just reading out the results in a totally formal way. And the wonderful lady, Grace Goldie, who was deputy head of current affairs at BBC, had the idea of having a good election night programme. And she asked McCallum, because McCallum had written a book on the 45 election, to come on the programme. McCallum, knowing that he didn't know anything about figures, said he wouldn't come on it unless I could be there sitting beside him. And so I got involved in election night preparations and like. And then suddenly I was on screen. I'd hardly seen any television at the time. I was on screen on the 23rd of February 1950, available when results came in. And I found that I could talk spontaneously about them. I was doing in front of a camera what I would have been doing if I'd just been alone at home or with friends at home, interpreting the election results. And it was thought to be a success. And so I stayed doing election night television at the BBC beside the anchorman for the next 10 elections. My last performance, one on telly, was 1979, but from 1950 to 79, I was a sort of fixture there. And it was a great help to me. I wasn't a great person at television. I did other programs. I wasn't particularly adroit or good at it. But it meant that I was known to the political class. And when later on I was spending a lot of time writing books on general elections and thinking about British politics, I had an entree simply because I was known as a television person, as a pundit on elections, and thought to be learned in a way that I certainly wasn't. So that, well, in a sense, changed my life. It opened doors for me. I did election night programs in one or two in America, and about 10 in Australia, and 7 or 8 in America, in India. Quite a lot of it was backstage, was not on the screen, but just helping to plan elections and thinking of the data that you would need and how you should present things. And it was just a very exciting thing to do. I'm quite sure if I were to have a week of life to live and decide how to fill it, I'd certainly want to fill 24 hours in one of these BBC election night programs. It was just so exciting. One didn't need to sleep. One could go through for 36 hours without stopping and be totally excited, totally immersed in what was happening, and knowing that one was doing something one was qualified to do.